add value to you so that you can add value to other people. I know I'm complicating things before I simplify them. I'm going to simplify. When I say you are not what you studied, you need only common sense for you to be able to identify an opportunity in any field, including, I've remembered the reason why I was talking about the different generations, X, millennials, and the problem that you might have is for you to see your transition from school to the world of work in terms of money immediately. Because this is how the millennials and Generation Z are wired. So kindly, in your process of transitioning, and you can begin even right now, those who are still in school right now, I want to say this to you. You have no excuse whatsoever to have no working experience by the time you graduate. You have no excuse whatsoever to have no working experience by the time you graduate. Whether you're in first year, or last year, or final year. And especially people who are into personal development stuff, which is what all this counseling, community psychology, and social work, social administration, that's what these disciplines are about. You have no excuse whatsoever, because the opportunities are all around you, the problems are all around you. When I graduated from Makerere, I had a 2-year working experience. And that is why I have never applied for a job in my life. Never. That job I told you, the one I got, the bishop looked for me in the village where I had buried myself like plants in the soil. I had buried myself in the village there. I was hustling. When I tell you I started a community secondary school, which is now the only government school, secondary school in my sub-county, in Impata sub-county. You can go online and check Mukono district, Impata sub-county. The only government school there, secondary school, I started it. And the maximum amount of shillings I ever spent on that school is 100,000. I went and buried myself there. At my graduation party, I announced, because my community didn't have a secondary school. I announced at my graduation party that tomorrow I'm starting a secondary school. People thought I was joking. I told them, I'm going to be registering. Did I even have a building? But I had mobilized my colleagues with whom we graduated. They attended 7 of them at my graduation party in the village there, all of them with their gowns. 4 of them accepted to come and start volunteering to teach. I didn't have money to pay them because it wasn't there anyway. So they would go through here, go to Gaba, board a boat. That landing site you see across Bule, that's where my village is. From Gaba, you take a border, within 30 minutes you are at my home. So they would come. Each one of them would get a day in a week and comes and spends the whole day teaching. And the only money that we had, whenever we would get money, if the parent has paid, I would get the money and put it in the black book there on the desk. And every one of them would know. So when it is time for you to go to the desk, you open the book, pull out transport, you write it in the book, you sign and you go. They were volunteering. And me, I would spend the whole day there. I remember one time my sister came and she told me, Ambrose, you are wasting yourself. Look, all the clothes I had, the ones I had left campus with, they are the ones I was putting on, they had all become pale. She told me, Ambrose, our brother had gotten me a job in National Water. I didn't take it. I said, leave me alone. But I tell you what, that very sister of mine, when the world became so narrow, she could not hold in Kampala. Her son studied in that school and sat senior 4 from there. Her son is now a Catholic priest in Rome. But I didn't spend long there. The rumor went up to the bishop, Lugazi, and they told him there is a young man in your diocese. The rumor came from the Zambia here, the secretariat, because there are some people I was consulting. I had written a project proposal, and I came to consult Mzee Goa there. He looked at my proposal, he said, this is brilliant, there is nothing I'm editing. Then when I was walking out of his office, he told me, but you know what, I think Bishop Sekamanya needs you, I'm going to talk to him. I was there. My brother sent a message and said, Bishop Sekamanya wants to see you. I went, I sat with Bishop Sekamanya. 2 hours I was talking with the man was interviewing me, and the things I was telling him, now these are clues I'm giving you and you want to prepare for the transition. The things I was talking to him about had nothing to do with the course in political science I had studied. In my private time at Mukiibi, I had got a fascination with rural development, with agriculture and development, with women empowerment, and so on. I had a friend who was studying a short course on project planning and management, and I was borrowing notes from this person. I was trying to understand how do they write a project proposal. That's how I learned it. I've never been to anyone's classroom to learn those things. And when this guy wired me up with the bishop, talked, the things I was talking to the bishop were things I had read about how South Korea transformed through biological technologies in agriculture and what. And I was spitting practical insights. When I left, the bishop appointed a team of 4 people to come and to interview me. They connected up with me. We met at Mukono Colin Hotel. They told me, the bishop told us, you take us to your village, because you told him a lot about what you are doing there. I want to verify. They were firing me questions all the way and back. When we reached my village, they wanted to see the LOC chairperson. I said, yeah, we can actually convene a meeting if you want. In a flash, I had mobilized the LOC leaders there. They were there. I passed the interview. When I left, they told me later that as soon as you stepped out of the car, they looked at each other and said, give the boy his job. That's how I became the first development coordinator for the diocese. The job looked for me. Why? Because what you need to do is to see in community, in organizations, even in the university where you are, how can you use the skills and knowledge you have to make yourself relevant? I'm sure there are plastics which are being written somewhere on campus. Can you start a group of friends and say, we are the friends of the environment in Chamoko University? And you keep collecting, you mobilize students, you talk to students about, the environment and so on, and you are going to get organizations that will be interested in what you are doing. You look out for them. And before you know it, when you are writing your CV, you are leaving now university. When you are writing your CV is not going to be as blank as a CV of someone who has not had any initiative. So why I say that transition from school to the world of work is common sense is because being useful to people around you is common sense. You don't need a degree to do that. You don't need it. You need to be someone who is conscious of your society. So you understand your society. That's why I say, don't sleepwalk through life. That's why I'm referring to Bahati's point of reflection. Whenever you are on campus, whenever you are passing through the communities, be awake, be conscious, reflect on the things that you are seeing. I believe I'm someone who can never be jobless. Why? Because I see problems everywhere. I see problems for which I can be relevant. I'm here not by accident. All of you did not know me. But in 2002, I sat down and wrote the first edition. Because I was seeing a problem. What was the problem? People come to university very excited, beaming with ambition, and they have powerful aspirations. By the time they complete the degree, they don't even want to leave. They fear to go out. So they stay around. In Makerere, we had a concept called MUFA, Makerere University Flukers Association. They stay around and fluke inside. Why? Because they fear to go out. So I was asking myself, but why is this contradiction? Someone has come to university, you knew almost nothing, now you know a lot, you have learned a lot, you have many connections, you have friends and so on. I thought you should be very excited and impatient to go out and, show them what you have. But now why are you going? Why are you scared of going out? So that for me was the problem I saw, and I said, no, I have to make myself relevant by writing to them insights that, look, this education has paralyzed your minds. But it is not going to change now. So what you need to do is take a personal responsibility. You deprogram and reprogram yourself. You leave in your mind what is important, you pull out what is not important, and then you import what is important but was not given to you in the school. That's why Chamake was telling you here. His source of power is the information. What do you know beyond the course you have studied in class? Some of you don't even read newspapers. If you go and look for yesterday's monitor, there is a powerful opportunity for you guys. There is an organization, Thompson. That's the organization. They advertise the powerful opportunity targeting you guys. Go and look for monitor of yesterday, especially those of you who have completed. The advert is in purple color. I don't remember the page. The opportunities are all around us. I can talk until cows go home, like they say, but I want to cut my thing short because already we had cheated ourselves with time. So, I wish I could go on, but I can't because of time. And all I am saying to you, the answers you need to transition from school to the world of work are already with you. All of you here are already overqualified. Too qualified, you know too much. You have too much knowledge. And you know too many people also. All you need to do now is to ask yourself, this which I know. There is a video of mine you'll find online, courtesy of KRU. I was doing career guidance. Here in KRU, we really try to do this. I know even in your universities, you have programs that help to build the capacity of young people in the process of transition. So, I think 5 years ago, I was doing videos on career guidance, and you can find it on YouTube. If you punch in my name on YouTube, Ambrose Kibuuka, you will see one of the short videos there. And I was talking about how to make sense of the course that you have studied. And the point I was making in that video is that everything that you know makes career sense. And the course that you have studied, there is a principle that applies. The micro will make you. There is a micro element, sounds small, it could even be a topic of 2 days that you studied, and that is where you are going to build your career. I've articulated those ideas in this book. You can find it in Aristoc and other bookstores in town after University Watch Next. So identify. Is there a problem in my class? Is there a problem at campus? What is it that I know that I can use? And what is it that I need to learn, which I don't know now? What you have studied in class will contribute to a maximum of 20%. Listen to me. maximum of 20% of what you need to make it out there. What you have studied will contribute to a maximum of 20%. The 80%, you are not going to find it in a formal curriculum. No one is going to teach it to you. You are going to learn it by your own initiative. By coming to workshops like this, by reading newspapers, by interacting with people, by paying specific attention to the needs of people around you, and so on. That's how you'll be able to identify a problem to deal with. There is another small book I wrote. This one summarizes what I call capital. Capital. It's a very small book. You won't find this in stores. I only use it when I go to trainings because many people mistake it when they see the size and they tell them it's 20,000, they think it's too much. Now, in this small booklet, I amplify, I expand and explain my model of capital. I call it the 6-PAM model of capital. There are 6 forms of capital. I'll just mention them. The first one is intellectual capital. The quality of ideas that you have. And what determines the quality of those ideas? It's your exposure. Who do you know? Where have you traveled? What do you read? What do you watch on TV? What do you research online? And so on and so forth. What do you know about Uganda's economy? What do you know about the opportunities that the government of Uganda is putting across? What do you know about the NGOs? One time I was mentoring student leaders here and I challenged them. I asked them, how many NGOs are surrounding KI? They didn't know. I gave them an assignment. I told them, next week when we meet, I want you to tell me how many NGOs are around KI within a radius of 2 kilometers. That group that I was mentoring, Mr. Visi, you know the group of that young lady, Mary Kabalikiza, the former deputy, the vice president. That group, I'm very happy. Up to now, they call me, sometimes they call me, Mr. Ambrose, I want to buy you coffee. And they come driving fat cars. See, you opened our eyes. The opportunities are all around us. So intellectual capital. The second is spiritual capital. Spiritual is something big, larger than religion. Religion is part of it, but it's bigger than that. I'll give you an example. These CEOs of institutions and companies, and some of you here, they will spend sleepless nights in offices. It is 4 a.m. you see Professor driving in. 4 a.m. doesn't he have a bed? Where do you get that energy to be resilient and work up to late? To be persistent that you start a project and other people drop out and for you to hang in there. That persistence is a spiritual force. The determination, your sense of purpose. For you even to be aware that Bahat was saying, you could be in the wrong place, in the wrong career, wrong avatar altogether. For you even to know that this is my purpose and this is my mission. That is a spiritual force. What do you believe in? What are your beliefs? What's your belief system? Do you believe in yourself as, for us from that village, If you believe you can't, most likely you won't. So your belief system, your value system. So that is all under the spiritual capital. The third is social capital. Who do you know? Who knows you? Who can connect you? Some of you are complaining these days, it is who knows you? Who do you know? It is like that all over the world. It was like that even in the time of Jesus Christ, because the people he chose, those Peters and Johns and so on, you can research. John was a relative to Jesus Christ, wasn't he? Wasn't he? Yes. And James, those so-called sons of Zebedee. Peter wasn't he a disciple of John the Baptist? is like that everywhere. In fact, in the US, there are groups called lobbyists. There are groups that are professional lobbyists. They are connecting you to where you could not connect yourself. It's about who do you know, who knows you. No one stops you from making connections. Stop crying. You sit with people in the classroom, they come from powerful families. The person you sit with in the classroom, his uncle, her uncle, is the person who has the job that you need, but you don't even talk at a personal level, so you never discover the uncle of this classmate of yours. Yes. We build social capital intentionally. I know people who join Rotaract. Are there Rotaractors here? Why do you join Rotaract? Social connections. Someone, a Rotarian, once told me that, you see, this Rotary is powerful. Now, where in my life would I ever be able to meet the governor of Bank of Uganda? But in Rotary, we sit at the same table. Life is about who knows you, who do you know. Make these connections intentionally. That is social capital. The associations you belong to, the church you go to, the mosque you go to, the clubs you belong to, don't just go there and happen. Connect. Connect. I know there are some passages that Professor Muhammad has made for me behind the, sometimes he thinks I don't know, but I get to know. He makes for me passes, and you are there and people give you a phone call. Kumbe is the one who has. But it's because we are friends. And he knows what I am capable of doing. So build connections intentionally. The time you have left, use it. Those who are still in school. But even for all of us, it's not too late. The fourth capital is time as capital. And I'll stop on that one because the fifth and the sixth are obvious. Financial capital is number 6. Physical capital is number 5. Physical capital means your land, your mobile phone, your laptop, your buildings, your father's houses, what. Those ones, that is number 5, and money is number 6. I'm not going to bother myself with those, but all I will tell you is those last 2 are a result of the first 4. Hey, that's where they come from. Even if you inherit a whole street of buildings from your father, and you lack the first 4, in a few years there will be no more. So time as capital means, this will be my last point really. Time as capital means that you and I, God is so fair with his creation. When you are born, he deposits the same amount of his currency on your account. All of us. So, whether you're talking about President Biden, President Museveni, the richest man in Africa, who is Dangote, and all of us, God deposits 24 hours on our account. No one has even a minute. What you do with those 24 hours, with every minute of every hour of every day, is what shapes who you become and what you become. So in 1996, someone was so generous to me. She knew my mindset. I used to read books that have to do with the mind. So one time she was working in a powerful office and she saw a book with the title, I've forgotten the title. Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. Not this small one you see on the street. I know there is a white one with, I think, a red title by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice was a thick book like this, written by Dennis Kimbrough, a black man who had read the other one of Napoleon Hill. And he decided to write another one for black people in America. Now, when I read that book, it took me through 180 degrees turn. You know 180 degrees means? If you have been facing north, now you are facing So, and after reading that book, she lent it to me to read for 2 weeks. And she told me I have to take the book back before the big man notices that the book is out. Because I got it from the reading table, meaning he had been reading it. So if he looks around and doesn't see it, so I couldn't finish the book. After 1 week, I had not even gone Kotawe. I decided to run to my brother and asked if the secretary could help me photocopy the thing. They photocopied it and I made a file out of it. It took me 2 months to read. Because each time I would read a paragraph and pause it. Now, after reading that book, I made a decision. Ambrose, I will never go back to bed on any given day the same Ambrose that woke up. Hear me right. The Ambrose that woke up this morning will not go back to bed the same Ambrose. I must learn something powerful and new every day. That's what Chamagel was talking about here. Whether it means allocating 20 minutes, I will do that. So how do I earn a living out of that? Dr. Faith told me that when she suggested my name, they asked her what is my credentials, and she said she doesn't know. And I told her I also don't know, honestly. I don't know, honestly. Me, as long as I can land on any information and it makes sense to me, I will consume it and I will interpret it in real life. So today you'll find me talking about career guidance. Tomorrow you'll find me training professors on teaching and learning. The other day you'll find me training the military on strategic management. And another day you'll find me training engineers on systems thinking. That's how in 2005 they collected all the Catholic bishops of Uganda and put them in my class for 3 days, including the Catholic. They were in my class for 3 days. And Bishop Bachel of Mbarara, during tea break, he called me and said, "Now young man, tell me, these things, where did you learn them from?" I told him, "My Lord, my parents took me to school to learn how to read and write. And thankfully, I also went to university, so I can read and write critically. So anything I can land my eyes on, as long as it interests me, I will learn it. I will go to St. Paul bookshop and pick encyclicals written by the popes. I usually have debates with priests about what Pope Francis has said. I interpret it for them, and some of them don't even have a clue. I interpret it for them. And so they will invite me. They say, "Ambrose, we have this training. Please come." Even though I didn't go to a theology class. And the priests will sit in my class and I will teach. So the point is, what do? I get my time and allocate it to learn something that makes sense to me, which I know I will use to be relevant to other people. Now, in life, if you want to get for yourself, you must give of yourself. So you must have something to give. If you have something to give to others and it adds value to them, you cannot complain of joblessness. No. So all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, as I leave this stage, is it is common sense. Just do one thing. Take what you know, look at society, identify where it applies, add to yourself other things. There are many skills that you need, the digital skills. All of us need them, but I talked about them. You need them. If you realize that's what you need, go for a short course. You don't even need to go for a short course. You have a friend who knows how to design a website. Ask the friend to show you how to do that. You have a friend who knows how to open a blog. Ask that friend to show you how to open a blog. It will take you 20 minutes to perfect it and you are in business, and so on and so forth. And as they say, the sky will be the stepping stone. Thank you very much, and I wish you luck.
That's not enough.